What's going on, you guys? This is Couch Talk once again with your boy, Josh Elder. And today I'm going to talk about something super important. And I want to talk about the power of testing your marketing campaigns and testing and facing the facts that you will always be testing for the rest of your entire life. And the best way that I can illustrate this is remember back in the day in elementary school, maybe it was high school, maybe it was college, and you were doing a science experiment, right? You had this hypothesis, and then all the variables in that hypothesis had to be tested one by one, right? And you couldn't like test, maybe the first test was, okay, let's mix these two chemicals together and see what happens, like see what it gives us. And then what we would do is just remove one chemical and then add in a new chemical with the previous chemical that we had to figure out what the change was between the first variable and the second variable. And it's the same way like when you're trying to lose weight or trying to build muscle at the gym. Like you count your macros, you count your carbohydrates, your fats, your proteins, and you divide them into percentages, and then you test that for maybe a week or two. And then based off of your results, let's say you're not building muscle, well, you probably need to add maybe some protein and even some carbs. Maybe you have to add a little bit of each. But the best thing to do is to test one thing at a time. Maybe just increase the protein and then go another week and see what happens while keeping your fitness regimen, your exercise regimen the same. It's the same thing with marketing. A lot of people, man, they quit way too early. They'll like run a paid marketing campaign and they're like refreshing their Google AdWords account or their Facebook ads account. And they're like, holy crap, this thing's been running for 5 minutes. I've spent 3 cents. I don't have a lead yet. And they want to shut it down instead of just letting it run. You need to gather enough data and then test new variables one at a time, right? So if you got a Facebook ad, you've got the headline, you've got the image, you've got the call to action, right? You might have like a sub headline. I can't remember what they call it down here. So you're going to test one variable with all of that at once. And then maybe for the second variable, you just change out the image. Maybe you change out the image and test with like 10 different images and then see what happens. And then you take the image that wins, then test a new headline, right? And then you test maybe like 10 different headlines with that new image. And you keep testing and testing and testing and testing. You see, when you're a new marketer, you're like, damn, Josh, I don't even know where to start. That's why solo ads are great for marketers that are brand new. Once you gain some experience, you can start to diversify, start running Facebook ads, start running YouTube ads, start doing some SEO, start doing a lot more videos. But if you're somebody that's like, well, Josh, I have no money, well, take massive action, go into beast mode, learn search engine optimization because that's all based around free advertising, and there's tons of videos that will teach you the basics and help you get started, and just start mass producing a bunch of content. Just put a bunch of content out there. But do not give up too early when you're doing paid advertising. If you are doing solo ads, you need to look into your capture page. You need to look into the solo ad provider. You need to test maybe 3 solo ad providers, maybe spend like $200 on each. And at first, it's kind of a slow process to find out what works and what doesn't work. It might take you a couple months, but once you find that winner, man, boy, you can scale to the freaking moon, right? And then you have like insurance. Once you start building up your email list, doing a lot of paid traffic, you can supplement that with free traffic. Now you have insurance. If ad costs rise on Facebook, guess what? You could fall back on your YouTube content. So I have my YouTube leads that I can fall back on. I'm getting like 50 to 70 leads per day like clockwork just from free advertising. And I'm making a multiple 5-figure a month income from just free advertising. So you start with one and then you start adding the others depending on your situation, okay? And I would recommend sticking with one traffic method long enough and really test like a freaking mad scientist, and test different hypotheses, test different variables within that hypothesis until you find something that works. Give it a timeline. I typically say, a solid at least a month or even just a couple weeks is enough time. And of course, there's different variables. It depends on how much you're spending and everything. But just as a general idea, don't quit too early. When I'm looking at campaigns and I'm testing different sales pages, I'm going to drive at least like 200 to 300 visitors to the different sales pages that I'm testing with. Capture pages, maybe a little bit less, maybe 100 visitors to 200 visitors if I'm split testing 2 capture pages. But you want to test every single part of the funnel, from the ad to the capture page to a bridge video if you've got it, to the sales page, and then through the follow-up email sequence. The subject line on the email follow-ups, let's say that your open rate is only, I don't know, let's say it's 10%. You want to get it to 15%. Test a new subject line. Maybe your click-through rate is 2%. You want to get to 4%. Maybe you put a line of text in the body. Maybe you put the hyperlink at the very top right when they open the email. There's different things that you can do. You got to be creative. There's no like right or wrong way. There's different tactics that will help you, and hacks like putting forward FWD in the subject line, and then what is that, semicolon? And people they'll look at your email and think that it's forwarded from like some friend. It'll cause them to open it, right? I had one of my buddies, Paulo, today. He put in the subject line, "I love you," with a bunch of emojis with hearts in their eyes, and then just a bunch of lines. And that actually got me to open as a marketer. I'm like, man, that's pretty dang clever. So you could use the RE for reply, forward. You could do all kinds of cool stuff with your subject lines. Look what I'm doing. Look at what other marketers are doing. And if you want to learn how to build an online business from complete scratch, in complete detail, check out my top recommended system in the description below. Hope you got value from this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, test like a mad scientist, right? Go at it hard, be consistent, don't give up, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.